Hello, everyone. Get ready for a thrilling adventure today. We're going to listen to 3 different horror stories together, and these tales will take you into deep, dark worlds. Each story unfolds in seemingly ordinary yet mysteriously intriguing settings, filled with its own mysteries and chilling moments. You'll experience moments of suspense and excitement in the atmosphere we're in, encountering eerie stories that span from dark libraries to old-school corridors. If you're ready, let's embark on this spooky adventure now. One evening, echoing footsteps began to be heard in the quiet hallways of the school. However, this was no ordinary evening. A group of students had finished their last classes and were wandering the corridors to go home, but this evening, they would realize that nothing was as they expected. Alice finished her last class in the math department of the school and left the classroom. As she walked down the hall, she suddenly felt something rush past her. She looked around nervously, but couldn't see anyone. It was as if a shadow had swiftly passed by, but that was impossible. The hallways were silent, and there was no one around. Another student, Mark, retreated to a corner of the school's hallways to play his instrument after his music class. However, he began to hear strange noises. It sounded as if someone was breathing in his ear. Trembling, he dropped his instrument and quietly headed towards the stairs at the end of the hallway. But with each step, the noises became clearer. With eyes filled with fear, he looked around, but he couldn't see anyone. Meanwhile, at the other end of the school, only a few more students remained. Claire, preferring not to join her loud-speaking friends, withdrew to a quiet corner. Suddenly, she heard clicking noises coming from behind the wall. At first, she ignored them, but as the clicking continued, she paid closer attention. The noises sounded like something was hitting the wall, but it was unclear what or who it was. This chain of eerie events unveiled a veil of mystery based on the school's past. Years ago, a prison was built on the land where the school now stood, and many prisoners lost their lives due to the horrors of the conditions in the prison. The building housing the school carried this historical legacy, and according to some, the spirit still wandered these hallways. One night, a mysterious figure appeared in the school's corridors. Faced with a pale face, wearing a black cloak in a menacing manner, the students withdrew in fear. However, in the indistinct face of the figure, one could sense the pained expression of someone who once lived here. From that moment on, it was said that ghosts ruled the school's hallways. Students heard strange noises at night and saw strange shadows. Some remembered the horrific events that took place in these buildings in the past and claimed that the spirits of the deceased prisoners had returned to seek revenge. The school's administration tried to explain these strange events, but they could not find a logical explanation each time. Many claimed that the students were hallucinating and that everything was a mental reflection, but the strange events did not stop. Some teachers even claimed that mysterious figures roamed the hallways and that missing items were returned. Before long, the school's reputation spread underground rapidly. Parents began to hesitate to send their children to this school, and some even signed petitions for the school to be closed. However, the school administration chose to remain silent rather than announce this situation to the public. In a quiet school in a small town, there was a classroom that seemed ordinary at first glance. However, what happened in that classroom was far from ordinary. Everyone who attended classes in that room encountered strange and eerie events. One of the students in the class, Alex, felt a strange atmosphere when he entered the math class. While his classmates quietly listened to their lessons, Alex's attention shifted to something outside the window. Outside, the sky was darkening and a strange mist began to spread. Alex found this situation odd, but he was sure that one of his classmates didn't notice. As the class progressed, Alex's attention was drawn to the walls of the classroom. There was an old and worn picture frame on the walls. The picture depicted a teacher who had disappeared years ago. According to the story, this teacher had disappeared suddenly one day and was never found again. However, the mystery of the events was never solved, After class, rumors about the picture on the classroom walls began to spread. Some students claimed that the eyes of the picture were following them. Others claimed to have seen a ghostly figure appear inside the frame of the picture. However, when the class teacher heard these rumors, he just laughed them off. However, one night the classroom was shaken by strange events. At midnight, the school's security cameras showed that the classroom door opened by itself. A ghostly figure entered the classroom and approached the wall where the picture was hanging. This sight plunged the school staff and students into a panic of fear. However, when morning came, no one wanted to believe that the incident was real. A few days later, Emily, a student in the class, found a chilling message on the walls of the classroom. The message contained the name of the missing teacher and a warning: do not enter that classroom or you will be lost forever. Emily was horrified when she saw the message and immediately reported it to the school administration. However, she had no idea how the message got there. The events began to take on a more bizarre turn. The students in the class claimed to hear frightening noises during class and see shadows moving. Some described a strange unease they felt during class and said that the atmosphere in the classroom became heavier. Taking these strange events into account, the class teacher reported the situation to the school administration. However, the school administration believed that these events were coincidental and the product of the students' imagination. However, Emily and the other students were determined to solve the mystery of the events. One night, a brave group of students decided to enter the classroom. However, when they entered, they encountered a dark entity. This entity had emerged from inside the frame of the picture and was trying to scare the students away in fear. However, the students gathered their courage and decided to confront it. Eventually, the students discovered that the entity was the ghost of the former teacher. He had disappeared years ago but still haunted the classroom as a curse. The students gathered to break the curse and bring peace to the teacher's soul. Eventually, a brave student read a spell written on the teacher's picture and broke the curse. Now the classroom was a safe place for the students, and the ghost of the teacher would never return. However, since that day, the walls of the classroom still told the tales of the ghosts of past events. Everyone who had been in that class could still feel the lingering presence of the past event.